Hey, so this video exists because I thought I would sort my records by color. So I'm going to be showing you one record from each color section of my record collection. We have pink, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet, black, brown, and white. So let's get into it. Representing the pink section of my records, we have After Laughter by Paramore, an album that is near and dear to my heart and one of the favorite records I own. It's beautiful front to back. I love the little inside design. It's absolutely phenomenal. I was also lucky enough to get the pink Marvel edition, which is just simply beautiful. I love this album. To describe this album, I would say it's Dance Through Your Tears. And my favorite songs are Idol Worship and Fake Happy. For the red section, we have Sacred Hearts Club by Foster the People, an album that I only recently added to my collection, but I had my eye on for a pretty long time. I love how this album looks. I love how this album sounds. Foster the People has never disappointed me, and it's pretty good. So, to describe this album, I would say a legendary nightclub, subterranean, underground, like it has to be an underground nightclub. I don't know, something about it tells me that. My favorite songs from this album are Lotus Eater and Loyal Like Sid and Nancy. Representing my orange section, we have the self-titled album by Hozier. Hozier? I don't know. I love his music though. And I think this cover is breathtaking. I love the inside. It's so pretty. This entire album is just a very good experience to listen to. So I would describe it as a cabin in the woods that feels like home but might have a secret. My favorite songs are It Will Come Back and From Eden. Representing the yellow section of my records, we have Little Dark Age, an album that I listened to in college and has not stopped haunting me since. It was very hard to get this record, but I simply love the art. I love the art on the inside. That's so weird. I love it. This album, if I were to describe it, I would say it's the most fun descent into madness you will ever have. And my favorite songs are Little Dark Age, the title track, and Hand It Over, the final track. Representing the green section is Danger Days, The True Lives of the Fabulous Killjoys by My Chemical Romance. Because sometimes you're just a little bit emo and you need to hear an album about colorful teenagers fighting the government. I love this album. I've always loved this album. I tried to fight it for so long. I love the aesthetics. I was lucky enough to get a colored version of this record. It was a limited edition at my local record store. It's so cool. I know someone's going to get mad at me for how I'm holding my records. And so if I were to describe this album, I would say sometimes you need a release. And this album is that cathartic release. My favorite songs are Bulletproof Heart and Save Yourself, I'll Hold Them Back. Representing the blues section, Concentrate by the Happy Fits. An incredibly good album. Cannot stress enough. This album's so good. I love the fruit vibes that the Happy Fits have with every album. I love being plugged into an amp. It's so cool. I love it. I love it. No notes. Also, once again, lucky enough to get this really sick blue record. Very cool. And my favorite songs from here are Heart of a Dancer and Reason for Dreaming. To describe this album, I would say eclectic fruit rock. Midnight. Representing the indigo section is Robot Face by Caravan Palace. A quirky little album that I heard of through YouTube mostly. I love it. I love electro swing. It's very fun. And if I were to describe this album, I would say it's funky robots take over a speakeasy. My favorite songs are Aftermath and Lay Down. Representing the violet section is Mania by Fall Out Boy. I love this album. I know that's very controversial, but I think it came out at just the right time for me personally, and all the songs hit me in different ways. I love purple. I love this vibe they went for. Very cool. If I were to describe this album, I would call it a riptide of emotions and pure vibes. My favorite songs are Heaven's Gate and Church. Representing the black section of my records is Carly Rae Jepsen's Emotion, an album that I was really reluctant to listen to. But once I did, I realized, holy shit, this is a pop masterpiece. And I will not take criticism. I will not take any other opinions. I think this album is an absolute pop masterpiece. It's a masterclass in pop. It's just, she really did it. I got the 5th anniversary edition of the vinyl, which is another clear blue. Very similar to my Happy Fits, which is just stunning. If I were to describe this album, I would describe it as feeling every single emotion at once. My favorite songs are the titular track Emotion and Warm Blood, but on the deluxe version, I am gonna give a special shout out to Favorite Color. Representing the brown section of my records is Bastille's Bad Blood, an album that I've been obsessed with since it came out and have been for countless years after. I love Bastille. I love everything they put out. I love the look of him running down this empty road. I love that we are the headlights at him. I love how it's like a movie cover or poster. I love everything about this album. The vibes, the aesthetics. It's just, God, I love it. I was also lucky enough to get it in a red vinyl, a red clear vinyl, which I'm very, very fond of. If I were to describe this album, I would describe it as trying to outrun your troubles, but you never really succeed. My favorite songs off this album are Icarus and Daniel in the Den. I think I should also mention All This Bad Blood. I'm a giant fan of All This Bad Blood, but I don't have that one on vinyl because I missed it last record store day. Soup song's really good. Finishing off our list, we have, in the white section, All We Know of Heaven, All We Need of Hell by Paris. An album that I thought was not going to live up to my expectations because of how much I loved the first album, but surpassed it, and even surpassed my expectations for their most recent album. I think this is their best work, and I love it. I love everything about it. It's a perfect blend of all kinds of genres and motifs, and it's just so phenomenal. I love this album, and I think everyone should listen to it. My favorite songs are NOLA 1 and Winter. And to describe this album, I would say breakups suck. Make good music out of it. And that's all. So, thanks for watching. Bye.